Hi, I'm excited to show you this profitable trading strategy that I created. In this video, you will learn how this simple profitable trading strategy works. This strategy is a low risk, high reward ratio strategy. If you don't have a strategy that is already helping you to make money from the market, then this strategy is going to help you make money from the market. Using trailing stop on a higher time frame, this strategy has a winning potential of more than 1:1. This strategy can be applied to any time frame. I recommend higher time frame for better result. No signal, no trading. That means you need to follow the rules of this simple profitable trading strategy to make good profit from the market. I will show you how the strategy works, but detailed instructions step by step on how to use this strategy will be on the link below this video. Now let me show you how the strategy works. Here we have a signal forming. Now the strategy works like this. It's either the red indicator line below here is below the horizontal line or above the horizontal line. And the green indicator here, the green line, has to be above the yellow or below the yellow. And then here we have three lines. Now the price has to be above the tree line or it has to close below the tree line. Very simple. Very simple to follow. Now here we can see that signal is forming. There's no signal. Let's look for a signal, right? It's just three simple steps to follow to have a signal. We have a signal here. Now price was down before. Now price closed above here. And then we want to check and see the yellow here. The green is above the yellow line. And then we can see below here, we can see that the red line is below the horizontal lower band. So we have a signal. 50 pips of stop loss using the trailing stop. This is a 4-hour chart. We can see that here we have more than 70 pips, right? Like 71 pips. If we have this, then we can see if we use a trailing stop here, we locked in 50 pips, right? We will lock in 50 pips here. So let's say that we have 50 pips here. So this is our trade signal number 1, 50 pips. We just locked in 50 pips. So let's look for another signal, right? Here we have another signal. We have the green line indicator below the yellow, and then we have the red line indicator. It's above the upper band horizontal line. So we have a signal here. If we here enter a trade here with a stop loss of 50 pips, we can see that the price move over 270 pips, over 270 pips. So at this point, we are locking in 250 pips, right? 250 pips. So we can see that trade number 2, we just locked in 250 pips from this sell signal. Now let's look for another signal where we have just the 3 simple steps. Yeah, we have a signal here because we have price was down, now price close to the upside. We have the green line indicator above the yellow, and then we have the red line indicator below the lower band, the horizontal line. We have a signal. So now we have 50 pips of stop loss, and what happened? We can see here we have 300 pips here. So we are going to lock in 300 pips. So this is our trade number 3. Trade number 3, and we have that one we just locked in 300 pips. Let's look for our trade number 4. Trade number 4, where all the 3 rules come into place, right? Here we can see that price was up, price close to the downside. The green line indicator is below the yellow, but the red line indicator is not above the horizontal line. So this is not a signal. At this point, we have the green line indicator above the yellow, and then we have the red below the horizontal line at the lower band. So we have a signal here, and then here at this point 100 pips of stop loss, and we can see that we have like 100 pips take profit, right? So we are going to log in 100 pips here. Mind you, this is on a higher time frame, so if you are trading on a higher time frame, it's advisable that you make use of trailing stop, right? We have 100 pips again locked in here on this trade. So our trade number 4, we just locked in 100 pips. Let's look for more signal. Here there's no signal. Here there's no signal. The trend was really down nicely, but we can see that the green line indicator is below the yellow, but the red line indicator is not above the upper band at this point. So we don't want to take this signal. It's not a signal. No signal, no trading, right? So we want to look for another one. Here we have a signal because the green line indicator is above the yellow, and then at this point here we have the red line indicator below the horizontal line at the lower band, and then price was below, and then now price closed above. So from this point we want to consider entering the trade, and at this point, and then stop loss 50 pips, and then you can see this is the market went up to 75 pips, right? The market went up to 75 pips. So we locked in 75 pips because we're using trailing stop of 25 pips. So at this point, we just locked in another profit of 75 pips. Now our trade signal number 5 here, we just locked in 75 pips. So let's keep looking for signal. Look for signal. We have a signal here because you can see the green line indicator is above the yellow, and then the red line indicator is below the lower band, and then price was down, and then now price closes up here. We have a signal, right? So from this point we want to go into the market. At this point we can see that the price went as far as 164 pips. So we are locking in 150 pips using trailing stop of 25. So we are locking in another profit here. Now this is our trade signal number 6. We just locked in 150 pips. Let's look for more signal. Here there's no signal. It was down to the upside. The green was okay, but the third one here did not close, did not cross below. So we don't want to take this. It's not a signal. So this is not a signal. This is not a signal. Nice move to the upside, but at this point we can see that the red is not below, so we don't want to take this. It's not a signal, so we will wait for a signal. We have a signal here, right? Price was down before, price now was down before, price now close to the upside. We'll have the green line indicator above the yellow, and then we have the red line indicator below the lower band, and then we want to take this, right? So we can see that at this point here we have stop loss of 50 pips, and then we can see that the market move up to 200 pips, right? Like 200 pips here. So we just locked in another 200 pips here. So this is our trade number 7, and we just locked in 200 pips. We can go on and on and on looking for signals. You can see even here there's a signal here, but we don't want to keep going on and on, right? So let's just calculate this one, and you will see how this profitable strategy is helping me to make pips from the market. Now the first one is 50 pips plus 250 pips plus 300 pips plus 100 pips plus 75 pips plus 150 pips plus 200 pips. Now here you can see 1,125 pips just from 7 trades. Trading, this is a 4-hour time frame, but this strategy can be applied to any time frame. Now if you want more pips, then you have to trade on a higher time frame. If you are a scalper, then you want to go for 10 pips, 15 pips, like that. And you can see for yourself how this strategy is helping me to make some pips from the market. If you want to step up what you're trading, and if you don't have any strategy that is profitable, then you want to consider trying this strategy out. You can click on the link below this video and try this strategy. There will be complete details, step-by-step instructions on how to use this strategy. See you on the inside.